Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Temple of Light Sunday services. I am Seth Pincus, if you haven't met me before, and I will be leading the service today. So this is my first time leading everything, and my specialty, what I do, what my life is sound and music and vibrations, and I'm a sound healer, sound vibrational therapist, and so the theme of the service today is going to be talking about sound, talking about toning, using our voice for our own healing, and how to use that, for meditation and for cleansing, and then we'll be going into an experience of all the different sounds that I work with. So I'm going to start off with a chant called Ganapataye. So this is a chant to Lord Ganesha. In the Hindu religion, Lord Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. And it's said that every event, everything really starts with Ganesha. Invoke Ganesha to clear any obstacles, to clear anything that's been in the way. And so the lyrics are Ganapataye Namo Nama, Ganapataye Namo Nama, and then Namo Nama, Namo Nama, and then Ganapataye. And then there's another section that goes into Ganesha, just the word Ganesha. So it's Ganesha, 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 and chanting on Ganesha. So I'll sing it through a couple times, and when you catch on, just if you feel to, sing along, and we'll be on. Calling in Lord Ganesha.
Namo Nama, Ganapataye.
Namo Namah Ganapataye Ganesha Ganapataye 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 Namo Namah Ganapataye Ganesha 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 Gum 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 Ganapataye Ganesha Ganesha Taking in a deep breath. Just tuning in and feeling your body, feeling any difference that you can sense in your body, your mind, from before going into that chant till what you're feeling right now. Just observe. Maybe you do feel a difference, maybe you don't really feel any difference, that's totally fine. It's just a moment of observance. We're just taking some deep breaths, deep into the abdomen. Together, let's all go into just taking a deep breath, and on the exhale, I'm going to exhale on the sound of ah, but in a way that's like a sigh, using it as a sigh of relief from the day, the week, the month, anything that's been going on, and feeling just the sense of how the body can totally relax, totally let go with that sound of ah. Okay, so we'll do more than 3 times, just a few times through it until it feels good. Okay, so a deep breath in. Just letting go with that sound. Again, inhale. body, stretch your arms, stretch any part of you that feels good as you say that ah. So again, inhale. Oh, get into it. Really let yourself go. Let yourself free in this moment to just let go and use this sound as your vehicle. One last time. All right. How's everyone feeling today?
Great.
Very good. So that's one very simple, easy way to use sound and use vibration to help let go. And that's so much of healing, so much of the healing process. It's, I would say, the majority of the healing process that everyone goes through in whatever level, whatever way and flavor that they're going through their own personal healing process. Everyone's on their own path, everyone's going through their own unique things, but I believe that one of the biggest points in that healing process is the ability to let go. Let go of that pain, let go of the stress, let go of the worries, let go of the negativity. And so with using sound is, for me, my own personal favorite way to connect and just tap into that moment, tap into that ability to just let go. And tuning into that within myself and helping other people kind of tune into that feeling of, okay, there's something there, let's help release it, let's help surrender it and let it go. So that the sound of ah is very, very powerful sound that really relates to it connects with the heart chakra, and it connects with just the feeling of divine love. And using it in the way of kind of sighing is really, because the natural tendency with sighing is to take the tone of the voice and to lower it down. You're starting up high. Ah, that's basically what a sigh is. And so in that, there's a use of taking a pitch, a certain note, which no one thinks about when they're sighing. You're not thinking about, oh, let's start at C, and then let's bring this sigh down to B flat. You know, that's not on anyone's mind when they're sighing. It's just a natural part of the human experience. You know, it's just something at some point in time you kind of discover within your body, and it's just, that feels good. That feels, it feels a little bit better than how I felt before I just sighed. So it's about tuning into that and the subtleties of that, and how you can utilize that, how you can work with those kind of sounds, and use them, take advantage of those sounds. And one of the most powerful things about sound or sound healing is an equation of sound plus intention equals healing. So it's about using the sounds, tuning into the sounds, you know, and having this intention, that intention to let go, the intention to, you know, clear whatever needs to be clear, the intention of bringing in, you know, new things you want to manifest. You know, just having that intention, the intention to connect with spirit, connect with God, connect with your higher self, you know, open up your heart. And that intention is really, it's 90% of creation is intention, of outer creation, you know. So the intention is really, really important, really powerful. So when I do what I do using all kinds of different sounds, the intention is really the most important thing that I do, is I set an intention to open up sacred space, to connect with spirit, connect with my guides, my angels, my guru, and to help facilitate the greatest and highest amount of healing and transformation that's possible any moment. So that sound plus intention really brings about the opportunity, facilitates that opportunity for the healing to happen. Now, one of the techniques that I use with sound is chanting on different vowel sounds. Now, the vowel sounds are really important because, like going from Now, within those different vowel sounds, as you're speaking those vowel sounds, you're changing the shape of your mouth. And why is that important? Why does that really have an effect on the body or have an effect on you? You're just changing the shape of your mouth. But what that actually is doing is changing the harmonics that are coming out of what you're speaking, the harmonics. So what are harmonics? What is, I'm sure you've heard harmonic, in Western music and most things you hear on the radio. Harmonies are when, two notes are sung together at the same time, or two notes are played together at the same time. They make chords. So that's what harmony is. When people are singing in harmony, they're singing together, in chords, in notes that are very resonant with each other. That just fit together perfectly and they create this harmony. Now what harmonics are kind of go down and you take, like a magnifying glass or a microscope and you look at sound, you look at a note on the piano under a microscope and you see, oh wow, this note C, this isn't just C. This is a whole spectrum of notes within that note C. So that whole spectrum of notes is what's called, it's a scientific thing you study in physics, it's called the harmonic series. And it's this series of mathematical equations and so there's a mathematics and science into it, but it's really this spectrum of how, how every sound, it's like the molecules, this is the way I explain it, it's just the molecules of every sound. If you just take a moment, let's just take just a moment and just listen to this water going. It's one of the most natural sounds in the universe. Just take a deep breath. Just observe the different sounds that the water's making. Just even setting an intention by listening to water can be an incredibly powerful healing experience, an incredibly powerful meditative experience. So with this example, the point I want to bring across is that by listening to water, it's hard to pinpoint and say, oh, that water's playing at the pitch of C or the pitch of D, or, there's not really hard to pinpoint an exact note, but you can hear that it's making sound and that it's changing. The sounds are changing. There's some different rhythms in there, which bring another aspect to it, but even along with the rhythms, there's the sound of the water itself is changing. So what is changing? The harmonics, the molecules of that sound are changing, and that's part of the nature of the way water sounds. It's this flowing, changing, moving substance. So of course the sound it changes as it moves, and water is an amazing, amazing thing, part of the universe. We are water. You know, our body is, I forget, 70%, 80%. I forget exactly what percentage, but we are made up mostly of water. And I think most of you may have seen The Secret or seen the studies on Dr. Emoto, who's done a lot of research on the power of intention with water, on just putting a certain word on a bottle of water and seeing how the actual molecular structure of that water reacts and changes just by having the word love, and how the molecular structure of it changes just by having, you know, the word something negative, even the word negative, probably react to the water and have, and you can see pictures to demonstrate that, of studies done with that. But anyway, the point that I'm really making is within that sound of water, there's all these different harmonics that are changing, okay? And so, rather than get really heady with the term of harmonics, what I'd like to do is just demonstrate one of the main techniques that I use personally in my practice and with what I do. And this is something that has been very close to me for many, many years. I originally had heard this sound, or a version of the sound. The earliest that I really have a strong connection with it, I probably have heard it earlier than that, but about maybe 10 years ago, I had gone to see the Dalai Lama. This was back, I lived in New Jersey, so I went to see the Dalai Lama in it was Rutgers Stadium, so it was a huge football stadium, but it was an amazing experience to go and just be in the presence of the Dalai Lama. And at some point in his presentation, his ceremony, he had some Tibetan monks with him that do this Tibetan chanting, or overtone chanting, or throat singing, it's known as. There's different names to it, harmonic singing. And the reason it's called harmonic singing or overtone singing, overtone is basically another name for harmonics. So if you hear overtones or hear harmonics, they're pretty much synonymous. They mean the same thing. I was seeing the Dalai Lama and I heard these monks chanting, and it was this really low, deep, bassy sound that it just immediately resonated with me, immediately connected. I could feel it in my body. It was like this, and I actually felt this. It was like I felt this sound inside of me, and I felt this voice say, "You do that." And it was just this knowingness inside of me. And I remember in the moment trying to, I've had experiences where I could get my voice kind of low, but this was something different. It wasn't really about, you know, making like a singing voice going, that's a lower sound that, you know, I grew up singing, and I always had a bass voice, so that was a low tone with the singing voice. But this is something completely unique, completely different. And so it took me many years of researching and studying, and then at some point, about 5 years ago, I made the decision, I made the commitment, and it was just told to me, it brought to me through my guides, through my higher self, you need to do this, you need to really dive into this and explore it and do whatever it takes to learn this, because this is who you are, this is part of your dharma, why you're here. And so I did. I started really developing it, and kind of, I took a workshop with Jonathan Goldman, who's one of the kind of pioneering guys in the world of sound healing, and started listening to a lot of his work with overtone singing, and the process of listening to the sounds is one of the most important ways of being able to develop it. Is you have to be able to hear the sounds, hear that within this sound that there are things changing within that one note. There are these other notes changing. So that's really the first step, is being able to hear these sounds and being able to hear them within yourself. So the technique that we're going to kind of go into in a little while is working with the vowel sounds and slowly just hearing those sounds within ourselves. It's hearing, oh yeah, by going from E, there is some kind of change that's happening that's different than you would normally hear. So this low sound, I was sitting watching the Dalai Lama and I heard this. It overtook me in that moment. I knew I had to develop this. And so this is one of the styles of overtone singing, or again, overtone singing, harmonic singing, throat singing, harmonic chanting, these different names for the same type of thing. But within this realm of overtone singing or throat singing, there's some different techniques, there's different styles, because it's developed and it's been used in Tibet, Mongolia, a small little province in essentially Russia called Tuva, and this one other place, Nepal. So all of that kind of area of the world is where this has developed from. But within this technique, there's different styles. So the style of the low sound is called kigire. In the Tuvan tradition, it's known as kigire. And then there's another style that's called hume, which is more of a relaxed style. It's kind of more light type of sound. And with this style, it's kind of easier to hear the harmonics, the overtones that are coming out in the sound. So I'm going to demonstrate that. So the hume is more. As I've developed it, and as I was kind of taking the steps to develop it, I started immediately feeling a profound effect on myself, on my everything. As I do that, even just for the moment doing that, it has an intense effect on my body, on my consciousness. I feel like my chakras and my subtle energy bodies, the nadis are like the micro chakras all over the body. All the energy centers kind of open up and open me up to the universe. And in my work with using these sounds, I see that this also has a similar effect on other people. And so it's quite a gift for me to be able to share it and show people about it. But and this is kind of why